It's summertime, and you know what that means.
It's too darn hot, too darn hot, too darn hot. It's so hot!
Yeah, there's that. But also cookouts, pool parties, and the beach.
Oh, I'm all a tingle.
Right? And what do you need for those activities?
Sunscreen.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about music.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Toxic Radio is ready to go with you wherever your summer takes you. All you need is your smartphone, a Bluetooth speaker, and the free Toxic Radio app. You can also catch us on the TuneIn Radio app.
What if it's too hard?
Yeah, what if it's too hard?
Were you even listening? Phone, speaker, app. It's not hard at all.
Actually, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Damn right it is. So make sure you have us with you all summer and never miss out on the great shows and the great music. Toxic Radio. Don't play your summer safe. Play it toxic. Hey guys, dating life gone pretty shitty?
I find you so creepy, I think you should have to walk around with a bell around your neck.
Finding yourself getting a little desperate for some female companionship?
Alexa, tell me you love me.
Hell no. You disgust me.
What you need is to upgrade your style right now. The Toxic Store's got exactly what you need. Pick up some stylish gear featuring Deviant Gamer, Toxic Radio, and the Heavy Metal Happy Hour.
Oh, yeah!
You can find the store through the Toxic Radio app or toxicradio.net. Get in the game.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Get yourself a little love.
That guy's getting boobies. Yeah, he is.
Toxic Radio and the Toxic Store. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic.
Hey, this is Kel Mitchell, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. It's getting toxic.
Hi, it's Steve Morrison from the President Steve Show, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Get infected like you would with a cheap hooker.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's that time again for your hottest podcast about relationships in the game right now. Relationships 101, and I'm your host, John Evans. I'll be your doctor of love for the next 60 minutes. First of all, I want to start off by saying happy Monday. And thank everyone for continuing to watch me. I appreciate that, and I hope and pray that y'all continue to do so. Remember, next week's show, the 23rd, will be a very special one. The gentleman that I had on last week's show, the Entertainment Experience, Mr. Entertainment and Positive Pro Star GP, will have their podcast on prior to mine. What's going on, Dave? Yeah, I'm here every Monday. Yeah. They'll have that. What's going on? I appreciate y'all tuning in. My boys, the Drunk Unks, one of the hottest podcasts out there. You can find them on all streaming platforms out there. I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you. Yeah. They will be here next week, and I will be a guest on their show. And afterwards, they will be a guest on mine for part 2 of what we talked about last week. So I look forward to that. And hopefully you guys will too. So, with all that being said, I want to dive into some topics. What a lot of people don't know is this podcast has a message board, and some people, well, no, quite a few people have left questions, various questions. I guess either they may not feel comfortable, putting it out there on a message board for everyone to see, and they leave their questions on Messenger. Out of respect, I'm not going to use their names. I will answer their questions and try to give some type of insight. Thank you. The first question, a young lady chimed in and she said, I just broke up with my boyfriend a month ago, and I'm still working on recovery. He cheated on me with his ex and lied about it. Then he said he just wants to be single. How do you get over someone who was your best friend before you dated? Uh, time. Time heals all wounds. That's the best answer I can give for you. Unfortunately, in relationships and in life, it's almost like it's just part of the game. I mean, people get cheated on. Um, doesn't sound pretty, but it does happen. And I understand it. You guys had a very close relationship because this was your best friend before he became your boyfriend. Um, take it one day at a time. That's all you could do. One day at a time. Um, Brad chimes in, and when are the relationship 101 shirts coming out on the app? I don't know, but I appreciate you asking about that soon, brother. Soon. I'll make sure, let me know what size, and I'll see that I get you one for free. Yeah, time heals all wounds. Take your time, take it one step at a time, one day at a time. Try to distance yourself from, that person. One of the worst things in the world you could do. Dave says, been there, done that. You do not. Okay. Um, like I said, distance, don't, expect calls, texts, things of that nature. You're taking the first step and a smart move. You're working on recovery and everything else like that. Remember, he cheated on you. So, he doesn't deserve your time, effort, or anything. Please move on. Keep in touch though, because I'd like to know how you make out in the future with that. The second one, like I said, out of respect, I'm not going to use this person's name. They said, I just got out of a relationship. How long should I be single? Well, there's no official time frame on that. I can imagine that you'd want to be single for a little while. I mean, you just came out of a relationship. I always say one of the worst things you could do is leave one relationship and hop right into another. When does the healing process begin? I mean, it's just too fresh. I don't recommend it at all. It shouldn't be done. I don't advise you to do it. You're asking how long should you be single? I'm going to say a while. Take some time. Get to know yourself again. I don't know what was the reason for the breakup, whether it was one-sided, whether it was amicable. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But I recommend that you try being single for a while. You might actually enjoy it. Do not, I repeat, do not rush into another relationship again. Allison chimes in. How you doing, Allison? She says, how long single? As long as necessary to get your shit together. Rebound much? Like I said, take your time in that single phase. You might actually enjoy it. The last question. Someone chimed in and asked, do you believe in second chances? Why and why not? That's a good one. I guess it depends on what you're asking for a second chance. Brad chimed in. He said, I broke up with my ex. The next night, I had my first date with my wife. Wow. That's impressive. But Brad, you and I both know that shit don't happen every day now. Congratulations on that, because that's a hell of a comeback story. Hey, all right. But that doesn't happen for everybody. That's a Disney tale. And it does happen, but not too often. Like I said, congratulations to you, Brad, on that one. Do I believe in second chances? Why and why not? Everyone deserves a second chance because, none of us are perfect. But it depends on what you're asking for a second chance. If I caught you cheating or stealing from me, hell no, you don't deserve a second chance. No. No. It depends what I'm willing to give you a second chance for. I mean, I'm a nice dude, but no one wants to be walked on, and that's a chance you take in giving someone a second chance. Excuse me. So it all depends on what it's for. All depends on what it's for. Do I believe most of the time people deserve second chances? If it's understandable. I mean, yeah, because like I said, none of us are perfect, but I'm not going to give you a chance to make me look like a fool twice. No. So hopefully I was able to answer those questions and help you guys out. Please continue to do so. Allison chimes in again. She says, everyone deserves a second chance unless domestic violence. My personal opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Like I said, for me, it's cheating or stealing. I know people that's been through domestic violence and worked it out and had an even happier relationship. So we all have what we will put up with and what we won't. And I see yours is domestic violence. So to each their own. To each their own. Okay, first topic we're going to talk about is online dating. Over the last few years, that has become huge. I'm almost upset I didn't get in on that. But yeah, there's apps out there for everyone, from Plenty of Fish to BLK to Christian Mingle. I mean, you name it, it is out there. And I will admit, I myself, I've been on several of them to the point where the membership fees almost look like a Comcast bill. But they're huge now. And especially with the pandemic going on, you can't go out there and meet people, the old-fashioned way. So, that's what people do. They're getting comfortable in their home, whipping out their phone, laptop, however you're doing it, and they're going online and you're searching for people. Well, I can tell you now, if it's not done correctly and precisely, you will have bad date after bad date after bad date after bad date. Kyle Wilson, have you seen the Facebook dating app? No, Facebook got one? I did not know that. I did not know that. Damn, that Mark Zuckerberg. Is there anything you can't do? But yeah. I did not know that Facebook had a dating app. But is it free? No. I don't care to know about all that. But yes. Through my personal experiences and me doing my research, I'm gonna help you on quite a few reasons why you've been attracting the wrong people. Okay. Being in this COVID era, that's what we're prone to do. We go online, see who's available, things of that nature. Well, there is no formula for online dating. And here's a few mistakes that's holding us back from finding that right person. Okay. Number one, you're relying too much on your photos. I see this a lot, and I've done it myself. We get it. You're hot, but a person who is looking for a real genuine connection with someone understands that it takes more than just good looks to keep a relationship together. You scroll through these profiles, you'll see somebody with, 6, 7, almost 10 pictures, and they're good looking pictures. I have my, complaints about some of them, stop with all the filters. I don't know what it is, but stop with all the filters. You don't look like that in real life. Just stop. But, they help. For some of y'all, helps a great deal. But, yeah. And I get it. And a lot of ladies that say, well, all men do is look at the photos anyway. That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true, because a real man, a genuine man that's looking for someone, that's looking for a real relationship, that's looking for a real connection, is looking for more than just your photos. They want to know something about you. They want to know, they'll show an interest in your bio. Now, don't get me wrong, we like what we like, and everyone wants to be with someone attractive. But that's not enough to keep a relationship together, Like I said, that's where the problem lies. Someone that Dave says, yeah, relying on my photos is pretty much setting myself up for failure. Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. Um. uh. Someone is serious about a relationship and a life with you. Photos, you got to remember, they just serve a purpose in showing people what you look like. That's it. No more, no less. No one will, you know, look at your photo and think, "Oh my gosh, I wonder what she likes, what she dislikes." No, that's for your bio. And a lot of people rely too heavy on our photos. That's just not enough. I'm sorry. Now, like I said, you could be attractive and the whole nine, but if everything else ain't in order, then, it's not going to be enough to carry your relationship through. I'm sorry. Second one, your bio. Allison chimes in. She says, men always ask for full body shots, and they were obese. Catfish my ass. It does suck being catfish. It does suck being catfish. But I will say this. I get why people ask for full body shots because of those angles. Some people use lighting, angles, everything else to pull off that picture that's just right. And then when you see them in person, it's like, something's not adding up here. So yeah, I get why people ask for full body shots. Yeah, you want to know what that person is. It looks like, especially before you decide to take it a step further and start engaging in a conversation. You have people out there that are catfishing. And if you're catfishing and you know who you are, stop. But the next one is your bio is too negative. Now, I've seen this time and time again. No hookups. Don't waste my time. No time for drama. Okay, we get it. We get it. I mean, but for me, that's an automatic turn off because I just don't feel like seeing that. I'm not coming with drama. I don't want to hook up. I'm not full of BS. I all that I already know. So for me to have to read it in your profile is just like, really? Okay. I mean, to see those mean and judgmental phrases all the time, just makes me want to swipe right. Well, what is it? Swipe right? Yeah, swipe away from your swipe away from your picture because it's just an automatic turn off. And I get it, especially women. You need to do it to keep the riffraff out. That I understand, because I met someone and I don't know how truthful she was being. She said that every night when she checked her profile, she had 200 different guys in her inbox. So I get it, Yeah, if you have to, nobody wants junk, trash, riffraff, whatever you want to call it in her inbox. So you have to be a little direct. But sometimes in being direct, well, that's what you do. You attract what you don't want because you run across people that, aren't, let's just say, well, they're socially ignorant. Sociopaths are just flat out, jerks and jackasses. They're not going to see through that. They're going to come at you and they're going to, as Judge Mathis would say, spit that game at you and, try to be the most charming person in the world just to get their way. You fall for it, and guess what? You have that exact same person that you put those warnings about in your bio in the first place. It's a crapshoot because you're going off what this person is saying, hoping that they are a person of the word. You give them the benefit of the doubt. You engage in a conversation. People could tell you anything. The conversation is great. One conversation leads to another. Next thing you know, you're looking forward to that conversation. After that, you're planning the first date. That goes well. Then you're planning the second, third. You're seeing each other on a regular. And that's when that person comes out. It's a chance you take. It's a chance you take. But like I said, it's the other side of the coin. Take all that negative stuff out the bio, and a good guy be interested in it. I mean, I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's been times where, I've been on a dating site, not in the greatest moods, but as soon as I see all that nonsense, I go right past it. I don't feel like hearing the bullshit. Just be more direct. Say what you want and keep all the negativity out. See how it works. See how it works. For someone that's looking for a teammate or someone that's looking for a life partner, sounding so negative is a major turnoff because it doesn't sound like you're looking for the same thing. So try that. Try that. Just try to be a little more appeasing, a little more happy, Take the negativity and use the opposite, Be more positive in your bios, and it could work for you. It very well could. The third one, well, you're not telling everyone about the real you. And what I mean by that is sometimes bios can be so generic. I get it. You like dogs. You like ice cream. You like, relaxing nights with Netflix. Guess what? So does everyone else. What makes you stand apart from everyone else? Who is the real you? I get it. Everyone likes to travel, shop, go out to nice dinners. Who doesn't? Show me that person, and I'm going to call them a damn liar to their face. Who doesn't? But what sets you apart from the crowd? What makes me actually want to show interest in you? Like I said, sometimes these bios can be so generic because they all sound alike. What is it about you that I'm going to look at and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's going to spark interest in me, that's going to intrigue me, I don't know. But I recommend you switch it up because if you're sounding like everyone else, you'll probably get just like everyone else. So, give that some thought too. Give that some thought too. Tell more about yourself, your desires, your dreams, your goals, stuff that actually people should be talking about. Hey, you like dogs, who gives a shit really? I don't mean to sound like that, but who does? Next one, and this one really burns me up. I hate this with a passion. Too many group photos. Your profile should be about you. You should be the star, the main attraction. I hate it when I see so many profile pictures and it's in a group, it's with this person, it's with a child, just stop it. Stop it. You're not getting a date for this child. You're not getting. First of all, when I see them in a group, that automatically makes me want to swipe. If I see you, I've seen them like cuddled up with other men. I'm just like, this is a dating site. That picture should never be on here. First of all, I don't know if that's your brother. I don't know if that's your son. I don't know if that's just your gay friend. Who knows? I don't know, but I don't feel like asking the questions, trying to figure that out. It's a major turnoff, and that will get you moved to the next. I mean, it's just way too confusing. I don't feel like asking the questions, especially if I've had a busy and rough day. I'm on there trying to look. And when I see you in a photo with one or two or more people, nah, that's it for me. I'm not interested. So, remember that. Keep your photos simple. Just you. You don't need anyone else. You're looking for yourself. You're not looking for other people, so why have them in the photo? Now, this is similar, Brad. In the same vein, can you date a girl with a super hot friend? Yes, you can, but you would definitely have to not focus on that super hot friend. Or maybe you should try to date the super hot friend first. I don't know, but yes, you can answer that question. Yes, you can, Brad. I appreciate you, John. Yes, you can. The next one, it's similar to the one prior, but it's not. Okay, you're not painting the picture of a life together with someone. I get it. You're on a dating site, but the end game and the goal of being on the dating site is to find that person to take you off of there, to help you delete that account. You don't want to be a serial dater. Allison chimes in again. She says, I can't believe people putting minors on their pic page. There are crazies out there, and how does that help your cause? I don't know how it helps the cause. Dave says, right. I usually swipe left on those. Make me question the judgment. I agree with you wholeheartedly on it, both of you. And like I said, I've seen it. I've seen it where people are holding babies, kissing them on the cheek. I'm like, how does that photo fit in this scenario at all? It just doesn't. I've seen the strangest pics. I've seen pics of people taking photos next to someone in the hospital and posting it on a dating site. What the fuck does that have to do with anybody on a deathbed? I just don't get it. Like you said, Dave, it makes me question them. And unfortunately, there are a lot of crazies out there. Yes, you are right, Allison, about that. Well, like I said, painting a picture of a life together, the good news for you ladies is no matter what, you will have all type of men inbox you for everything. That's the gift and the curse, y'all. You know, some of the men will be scrolling for attention, and some will actually be scrolling for a real connection. And, that's where you have to go through, like the needle in a haystack scenario. The thing about creating your profile is say what you want. You're looking for love. You're looking for a future together. You don't want to be a serial dater. It's nothing wrong with saying that you're looking for marriage. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with, and even if you're not looking for marriage, there's nothing wrong with saying, you're just looking for a serious commitment, because that works in a marriage, that builds in a marriage. But say what you want. Make that clear. You could talk about every other thing in the world, but in your dating app, in your bio, make that clear. There was a study that I found so interesting. Heather, what's going on, girl? She says, you have to sift through the bullshit. And you do, unfortunately, on these dating apps and in online dating. Yes, you do. Once again, it's like the gift and the curse. But I found a study. Now, I'm quite sure everyone at this point is familiar with POF. It's an online dating app. It's called Plenty of Fish. Now, they did a study, and they did it out of 1.2 million profiles. It's a lot of profiles. But the study showed that people who used the word love in their profile were more successful finding meaningful relationships. And men in particular benefited in their profiles from using words like heart, romantic, and relationship. Now that's heavy right there, because not a lot of, now from the profiles, when I used to be out there and was looking at them, those were words generally not being used. Heart, romantic, relationship, love. I very, very rarely seen someone say, I'm on here and I'm looking for a romantic relationship, or, I'm looking for the love of my life, or I want someone that can capture my heart. It just doesn't work like that. Why? I don't know. But, those are key phrases that POF has shown people who use them are more successful in finding someone in their quest for love. So, hey, what do you want me to say? The awesome thing about love is that it can happen anywhere at any time. And with the pandemic still running wild, online dating is the in thing right now. So, don't get me wrong, the old-fashioned way is a bit difficult. Social distancing, masks, people being scared. So online dating is the hot thing right now. But it's still difficult. It still is difficult, because you got to hope what's out there online is actually what it is. Catfishing. I mean, it even gets to become more serious. You see people actually getting hurt, stalked, and everything else from online dating. So, there's a lot of pros and a lot of cons to it. But, most of all through this, project. Mike, what's going on? From my understanding, free dating apps equals booty calls. Paid equals once a relationship. I don't know because, okay, POF is free, and I'm quite sure they probably had some marriages and, things work out from that. I don't know. Well, people will gravitate to the free apps first. Like I said, I've been on the ones with the membership fees, and you can still have a horrible date paying a membership fee. So I'm not going to say that equals marriage and good relationships, no. But as far as online dating goes, project what you want. Be proactive. Don't be scared to start a conversation. It's just a conversation. You're not locked into anything, you're not committed to anything. That's how you fill a person out. Destiny Smith, what's going on? I at least get 10 hits a day with no profile pic. Damn. What is your profile saying? I don't know, because I agree. I pay because they say, I'm sorry, Allison chimes in again. I'm gonna get back with you, Destiny. Allison chimes in again. She says, I agree. I pay because they seem to be more invested. I don't know either, because like I said, I was on POF, and they were not charging for anything. And I would say, Matthew chimes in. He says the odds are higher of a relationship when everybody is paying. I don't know, Godfrey. I don't know if I can agree with that. Back to Allison. I was on POF. I wasn't paying, and I was at least on one bad date a week. Wasted a lot of time and money messing around with POF. So you can meet people and I don't know. What's better, paying or not paying? I don't know. Don't think though, because you're paying a membership fee, that you're guaranteed to meet the love of your life or decent people. No, you get a lot of smuts and trifling people on dating apps that pay. Now, back to Destiny. You're getting 10 hits without showing your profile pic. Man, that's scary as hell right there. I advise you to leave those 10 people alone. What is your profile saying? Wow. Dave, maybe I should try it without pics, LOL. Well, if it's working for Destiny, it could work for you too, brother. Who knows? I mean, shit. Matthew, he chimes in again. He says, because you guys are thirsty as hell. Guys think when no picture is present, they're going to pull a Selma Hayek rookie card. Okay. When no picture is present, you have to question, okay, the idea of being on a dating site is to meet someone, attract someone. Why are you even on there with no profile pic? I mean, who knows? You could pull someone that looks like Shrek or someone that looks like Selma Hayek. But you have to ask yourself, what are you even on here for if you don't have a profile pic? To me, that's a red flag. That's an automatic red flag. To me, that, those are people that should get blocked automatically. You know what the intentions are going on. Exactly, Laura. What's going on, girl? Can't meet with no picture. Exactly. What? You expect me to meet you in a dark street with a white van that pulls up? No. You have to have a picture. That's the intentions of going on these dating sites. When you don't have a picture, no. That's a red flag for me, and that will get you blocked. Have a picture. And I'm going to put it out. I don't care if it's 10 years old. At least I got something to work with. Shit. No, you need a picture on there. Now, hopefully that helped. Matthew says it's a huge red flag. Hell yeah, that's a red flag. I want to know who I'm talking to. How can you even start and generate a conversation? Sean chimes in. What's going on, buddy? Never done online dating. Heather will cut me. Well, if you have Heather, you don't need online dating. So I advise you not to try it unless you want to get cut. But Heather chimes in. She says, had a friend find a woman on POF, moved in with her, and that's when the crazy started to show. Now, I've heard POF stories of people moving in 30 days later. I actually was on, I was seeing someone that met someone on POF and married them in 90 days. Keep in mind, people, these, online dating, especially before you meet that person in person, you should take your time. You should ask a lot of questions. Don't be scared to ask for tons of photos. I often say, too, especially after the second week, don't be scared to video chat, whether it's Zoom, FaceTime, Duo, whatever it is. Don't be scared to video chat. When they can't do that, that's when you got another major red flag. Brad chimes in. He says, maybe no picture. They're actually involved but don't want to get caught. And you're right. That is very good, Brad. Yeah, they could be in a relationship. But once again, if you can't show your picture, well, that's a telltale sign right there. Nah, I can't fool with you if you can't show me a picture. First of all, I got to know who I'm talking to. How does the fantasy begin? I don't know. I'm chatting with this, this black box that has a white question mark in it. No, I can't do that. Nah. No picture, no convo, no way. You get blocked easy. And I advise everyone else to do that also. So that's just my opinion on that. Now, last week I was joined by two guys, and the energy and the conversation was so awesome that we had to do speed round on the last topic that I had, and I'm going to jump into that right now. It was actually how to know that they are the one. And that was something that I was asked on another question on the messenger. How do you know if you're the one? And it made me think, I don't think I can answer that for you. I mean, shit, I'd have ran through I don't know how many women trying to think that they was the one. But, I'm only human. And you are too. So I had to do some research on this because I didn't want to come at you half-assed with these statements and questions. But, I honestly cannot tell you how to know if you found the one. You will know, but here are some things that can help you along the way. I said this last week, and I'm going to repeat this because it just makes so much sense. The alignment of values. And I've tripped and fell over this one too because, you get with someone, and I have in the past, where you get with someone and they don't have the same value system as you do. But, you're thinking you could change that person, they're so nice, you like them, they're pretty, whatever, excuse you want to come up with. That value system is so, so important. And I'm going to tell you right now, if it does not line up or not even close to what you believe and what you think is right and, the life you want to live, it is not, and I repeat, it is not going to work. I've said it before, and I've done this 1,000 times myself. You've been on a date, you ask the most trivial, and now that I think about it, stupid questions. What's your, favorite TV show, your favorite food, your favorite color? I call them who gives a shit questions because really they are who gives a shit question. Now, what we should be asking is the very important stuff that, who knows, maybe you're scared, you're scared that you're going to run that person off, it's a little too heavy too early. The reality of it is They should be talked about. You can talk about anything else, trust. Why can't you talk about that? How do you feel about trust? Is it important to you? If it's broken, is that end everything? How do you rebuild it? These are things that, should be talked about as far as the value system and everything. Time, money, especially money. That is one of the key components that can lead to the downfall of a relationship. One party might be very good at saving it while the other party isn't. If it's steady coming in and, I'm steady spending it on frivolous things, well, just spending it, period, it's not going to work, especially if it's not going out to important needs and everything else like that. Money is a major, major issue that should be talked about. Work ethic, that's another thing. Now, don't get me wrong, if you've been with your partner long enough, you should know what their work ethic is like. Laura chimes in again. She says, you just know sometimes it's instant and sometimes it takes time to figure out. But when you know, you know. I agree with you 100% on that. Yeah, sometimes it does take time, but when you know, there's no doubt, no question, you know. And like I said, work ethic. If you've been with that person, okay, taking it deep with the God. I think sometimes people have a picture of what love is in their head, and they try to force the issue of love instead of organically letting it grow, because deep down they're trying to satisfy their insecurities. Hey, well, the chair is available for you too. I'm looking for a co-host now, but yeah, you are correct. Mike, throw that up there one more time. I want to read that one more time because that was heavy. I think sometimes people have a picture of what love is in their head and try to force the issue of love instead of organically letting it grow, because deep down, they're trying to satisfy their insecurities. You are so correct. And nothing will tear a relationship down quicker than that. Just because you're trying to fulfill some insecurities that you're dealing with instead of working on yourself. And like you said, taking your time, letting love grow organically. Yes, I agree with you 100% on that. Yeah. Laura says that was actually deep. Yes, it was. It was so deep it made me read that thing twice, Laura. But yes, that thing was deep. But like I said, work ethic. Yeah. That's so very important. Like I said, if you've been with a person long enough, you know the work ethic. You know that this is a person, that values having a job and keeping a job. I've seen so many relationships where, the one party will, run through jobs, like a hot knife through butter, in a course of a year, have like 5 or 6 of them. And I'm just like, and the other party is that one person that, goes to work every day, is probably employee of the month a couple times a year. It just doesn't line up. Work ethic is very important to me, because I'm telling you right now, if you're going to be with me, your ass going to work. That's just point blank. If I get up out this house, damn it, your ass got to get up and go too. But family, that's very important too, because if they don't get along with their family, what's the chances of them getting along with yours? If family is not very high and important on their list, how's it going to be to you? You could have someone, you could be that person that gets together, every holiday, every occasion. I've seen people get together, have family get-togethers for the most trivial thing. Oh, the baby got a second tooth. We're going to have everyone over. I mean, bullshit. But it's important to them. And I get it. Family is important. But if you're with someone that doesn't think like that, well, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. What do you want them to say? I didn't get along with my mom. I can't stand mine. What make you think I'm going to like yours? No, that's not going to work. Think about that. And future goals, that's the last on the list. Future goals. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are some things that, how do you want to better yourself? What's your hustle? I mean, cool. Everyone has a 9 to 5, but what are some things that you like to do to better yourself? Make more money, These are things to talk about. If you're a go-getter and your partner's a slacker, that's not going to line up properly. And it's not going to make for a healthy relationship either. So, like I said, these are things that should be talked about, need to be talked about, especially if you're trying to build a future with that person. They're eye openers. They are, and if it doesn't sound right and feel right, that's a red flag. Move on. The next one that I think is so important is how to make choices without the love chemical getting involved. Now, this one made me really think because we had a question on the messenger. It was from a young lady who was she was unhappy in a relationship. Out of respect, I won't say her name. Heather says, Sean and I have a plan for world domination. Yes, so did Pinky in the Brain. I appreciate that. Yes. This young lady was in a relationship that she was unhappy with. Now, her boyfriend was very disrespectful to her, showed her no attention, cheated on her, and broke up with her whenever he wanted to so he could play around. And they lived together. And it didn't make sense to me because I'm like, okay, you guys live together, yet he breaks up with you whenever he wants to. Gives you no reason, just let you know, we ain't together. Look, you ain't my girl. I'm going out tonight. I'm going out on a date. And I had to ask her, I'm like, well, why is it that you tolerate this behavior? Why haven't you put your foot down? And her reply was, because I love him. I'm not going to lie. I was so stunned. I did not know what to say after that. I didn't know how to come back on her, like that. Heather says, why is she continuing the relationship? I didn't understand that because she told me repeatedly, because I love him. I want to stay with him because I love him. And I was like, maybe you should research what love really is. But some people can't make clear and sound decisions without the love chemical getting in the way. Now, Dr. Helen Fisher from Rutgers did a study on romantic love. And it showed how love is breaking down. Laura says, that's not love, that's self-loathing. Yes, it is. It is. And honestly, when she was telling me her problems, I felt bad for her. I really did. But when she said, and I asked her, why are you tolerating that kind of behavior? Why haven't you put your foot down and tried to have, some type of discussion to put an end to that? She said, because I love him, I stopped feeling bad for her. Heather said, that isn't love. That is fear of being alone. And let's be honest, she already is alone. Oh, yes, she is alone. He's out there doing his thing without her, ignoring her and everything else. So taking it deep with the God. What if they are swingers? No, she wasn't a swinger. From every point I was talking to her, she was not a swinger. She was someone, Lord forgive me. If anything, she was ditzy, but she was not a swinger. She was just someone who wanted her relationship to work. Heather, he's the only one swinging. Yes. The only one, because she sounded like she was staying faithful and true and just wanted the relationship to work. So yeah, Dave says, not as much love as fear of not finding something else and holding on to what is available instead of taking a chance. You hit the nail right on the head, because fear will keep people from making all type of decisions in life, and especially in a relationship. Fear of being alone. People will tolerate and put up with what they have instead of cutting that loose, seeing what's out there, taking a chance. Like you said, Dave, thank you so much. I appreciate that one right there. Yeah, fear will keep a lot of people from making sound decisions in life. And I believe that's what was, or could be why she's tolerating this type of behavior. But like I said, out of respect, I'm not going to use your name, but if you're listening to the show, you have seen and read all type of examples people are giving you why you should not put up with that behavior, his nonsense, or stay in that relationship any longer. Allison chimes in and says, he really put it on her. You know what was magical, I guess? No. Ain't nothing that magical where you just lose common sense. I'm sorry. No, I have my daughter in the studio, so I'm not going to get into that. But no, it just doesn't happen. I will say this. Let me get back to Helen Fisher from Rutgers. She did a study on romantic love, and she proved through science that it was broken down. Romantic love is broken down into 3 stages: lust, attraction, and attraction, each with its own set of hormones that stems from the brain. With that being said, it is not easy to make decisions, especially when you're in a meaningful relationship without involving love. I get it, but you shouldn't be an idiot also. And I guess that was where this young lady's story, where I was leading to. I get it. It's not easy to make decisions because you love or you have feelings for this young man. But at the same time, don't be stupid about it. And yeah, I'm not using her name, so it doesn't matter. There was a specific age difference in this relationship. She was 50 and he was 32. So I think that played a major part in it too. But, it's because you're 50. Doesn't mean you have to be stupid either. So I'm not calling you it, but you don't have to think that way. Let me put it like that. So if you're watching this podcast, we're rooting for you. Let's put it like that. Third, saying how your partner handles themselves in conflict. This is very, very important because at the same time, no one wants a wimp or a pushover. But at the same time, no one wants a rageaholic or the Incredible Hulk either. I mean, saying how people deal with conflict in a relationship is another eye opener, because if it's not handled well, it's another red flag. Do they listen? Are they a good listener? Damn, I can't read my own handwriting with that one. Move to the next one. Do they show contempt for you when you try to resolve issues? One that I've done and fell victim to. Do they hold grudges when you try to resolve things? People can be petty when you think the issue is over and you think you've discussed it, and because we put it on the table, this is done and over with after we stop talking about it. No, you see through their behavior, slick comments, they're holding a grudge about what was last talked about. Well, that's not good conflict resolution, and, that can hurt a relationship also. Dave says, I was 8 years younger than my ex, and let me tell you, was an issue for her, never for me, but didn't have to be an issue for both, unfortunately. I don't know why, and who knows, that might have to be a podcast in the future. I don't know why age plays a benefactor and things like that, especially in relationships. Like I said, I'm going to have to do my research on that one. Dave's a great guy. Hashtag date Dave. Well, they're rooting for you, Dave. You just saw that. They're rooting for you. Hashtag date Dave. But, yeah, and lastly, do they blame you? Now, I've been in these arguments several times where, it's a whole lot of this, whole lot of finger pointing. You. Well, the oldest saying in the book. When you point at one person, you have 3 more. Look, I had to look at my hand. You have 3 more fingers pointing back at you. Well, that is true. And, conflicts can never be resolved when all you do is blame. You have to own up. It takes 2 to tango. It's 2 sides of the coin. No one is always right in a relationship. Own up. That's how you move on to, bigger and better things. You know what? Hey, I fess up. I apologize. Hey, I did it. I won't fuck up again. All right, you got me on that one. Hey, it works. Trust me. Now, I touched on this one, and I'll go through it again. The myth of the soulmate. Now, I've said it once, I've said it again. The soulmate is not a real thing. Laura says, unless you're Aaliyah and R. Kelly, age ain't nothing but a number. Yeah, I was going to say, tell that to the judge, because he ain't getting out no time soon. You're right, though. Yeah, the soulmate is just a myth. Everyone out there, waiting for their soulmate, I saw a meme that said, I'm not even mad at you, soulmate. When I see you, I'm going to love you to death. No, there's no such thing as a soulmate. Studies have proven that. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't believe in it. I don't recommend that you do. What you're doing is you're giving yourself false expectations on a love that you think should be there, when realistically, you're probably missing out on loves that could very well be in your life waiting on this soulmate. Like I said, studies showed that only 1 in every 10,000 people meet their soulmate. So, I mean, those are horrible odds. The soulmate sounds good. Allison says, I've always wondered, what is a good pretest to see how the other person handles conflict before committing? That's a good one, but I don't think you should test anyone. Like someone said earlier, let it happen organically. And one thing's for sure, a person can only front and lie, but for so long. When that real person comes out, they're exposed. So I don't recommend anyone, test or, create conflict situations just to see how a person handles it. Let it happen organically, and you'll see for yourself. You'll see for yourself. And who knows? You could very well meet someone that is just very good at, handling conflict and dealing with things, be a very passive person or just be a very relaxed person where, hey, okay, well, it could always be worse. And, there are those kind of people out there. So, just take your time with it. No need to rush it. No need to rush it at all. Lastly, like I said, soulmate is a myth. Don't do it. If you're looking for them, stop. They don't exist. Don't create this person that doesn't exist, because you'll only set yourself up for failure. Now, that's all I have for tonight. I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Next week, the 23rd, a reminder again, Mike.
Yes, sorry. I thought you were talking about somebody named Mike. I don't know where you were going with that.
Let everyone know what time the entertainment experience will be here on the 23rd.
So the entertainment experience starts their show at 6 o'clock. It goes from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 7:30.
And I'm very interested in this podcast. Well, one, because I'll be a special guest.
Mm-hmm.
But, those are two awesome dudes right there. I had a chance to talk to them prior throughout the week. Two really good dudes right there. So, remember, next week, before this podcast, you have the entertainment experience. And thank you, Lord. I appreciate that. That means a lot. But when Relationships 101 comes back on at 8 Monday, they will be special guests again on my podcast, and you will have their point of view on relationships also. Like I said, I want to thank you guys. You could have been anywhere else, but you was here with me tonight. I thank you. I appreciate you, and be good to each other until we meet again next week. Bye.